So Learning Target 1.3 on the Unit 1 test says to simplify by combining like terms. It also says, as a reminder, that I need to write my answer in what is called standard form. That is alphabetical order. Well, we don't need to worry about that because our only variable is w's. Inside the alphabetical order, larger exponents come before smaller ones. So my w to the second powers will go before my w to the first powers. And then the very last thing I would write is constants. When I combine like terms, it means when I look at this 6w squared, I'm looking for any other w squared terms, and I don't see them. So I'm just putting a straight underline under that. And then a different kind of underline under the minus 8, because that's a constant. So it doesn't have a variable with it at all. And I'm looking across, and there's another constant, and here's another constant. So they get the same kind of underline that is totally distinct from the first type of underline. Next, I have a w to the first term, and I look and I have another w to the first term. So I underline my like terms with different underlines than the other types of terms. Now I combine them and I write them in the correct order. W squareds go first. There's only one w squared term, so it stays 6w squared. Now my w terms, my coefficients, if I look in front, are a positive 5, and then in front of this one it says minus 14. So in my calculator I punch in 5 minus 14 and get negative 9. So this becomes a minus 9w. And then for my constants, I've got a minus in front of the 8, so I punch it in my calculator as a negative 8 since it's the first one. And then minus negative 3, and then minus 12. Notice when I punch it into the calculator, it's doing it exactly the way it looks on the paper. So negative 8 minus negative 3 is negative 5. Minus 12 is negative 17, so I write minus 17. And that's all I need to do on that problem. You don't need to write the work in blue. I just wanted to show you what you would punch in your calculator. So I look at this one. I have an a term to the first power. I have another a term. All the rest are a squareds or constants. So here's an a squared, here's another a squared, and then here's a constant and another constant. The a squared terms go first. So I would punch my calculator negative 8.2 plus a negative 3.7, because that's the coefficients of my a squareds. Don't forget that you're going to have an a squared term when you do that. Then I end up with negative 11.9 a squareds. And then 9 minus negative 4 is the coefficients of my a's. That's a positive 13, so plus 13a. And my constants, I'd punch in positive 7 minus 11.2, I'd get negative, so minus 4.2. That's all you have to show, and you are done with those problems.